I want to begin directly reading the Bible in the book of Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse is 30. So I sought for a man among them. I sought for a man among them who would make a war and stand in the gap before me on behalf of the land, that I should not destroy it. But I found no one. I go again to the book of Jeremiah, chapter is 51. And I want us to begin from verse 20. The Bible says, you are my battle axe and a weapon of war. Or with you I will break the nation in pieces. With you I will destroy kingdoms. With you I will break in pieces the horse and its rider. With you I will break in pieces the chariot and its rider. With you also I will break in pieces men and women. With you I will break in pieces old and young. With you I will break in pieces the young man and the median. With you also I will break in pieces the shepherd and his flock. With you I will break in pieces the farmer and his yoke of oxen. And with you I will break in pieces governors and rulers. And that's the word of God. And I will use those portions of scriptures to bring to you the word of the Lord today, that God is in need of praying men. God is in need of praying men. He looks for men who can stand on the gap. If there are men who can stand on the gap, even when it does intend to destroy, it does not destroy. When you look at verse 1 of the book of Ezekiel, because there was no none to stand on the gap, he says in that one, he says, because there was no man to stand on the gap, therefore I poured out my indignation on them. I poured out my wrath. So when God wants to pour wrath, and there are men who can stand. Even here he's not saying men, he's saying man. A man who will stand on the gap for the nation, so that he could not consume. He said, I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath, and I have recompensed them their deeds on their own hands, says the Lord. So destruction came, calamity came, evil came upon mankind, because there was no man to stand on the gap on behalf of the land. And so I want to say, in the plan of God, God is in need of a man. He is in need of man. The biggest need of God is man. The biggest investment of God is in a man. He has invested a lot in a man, because God has interest in a man. If a man can wake up and stand on the gap the way God has decided or desired, then God will work and do things through the man. In the book of Jeremiah, I know when Jeremiah was being called, in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 18, the Lord spoke to Jeremiah, behold, I have made you a fortified city. Jeremiah was not just a man. According to these words, God said he is a city, not just a city, a fortified city, and an iron pillar. So Jeremiah was an iron pillar before God. So when God is looking at Jeremiah, he does not see a man, he sees a fortified city. He sees an iron or pillar. There's a man that God had called and had chosen. And he made him a wall of bronze against the whole land. Against the whole land. Against the kings of Judah. Against its princes and against its priests. And against the people of the land. I want you to understand the biggest battle of any man called by God is not against the people, the way people think. It is not a people who are against you. You begin by conquering. Number one, he says against the kings, who are the rulers, who are ruling, which power is governing in the land, which power is ruling in the realm of the spirit. You have to struggle with. You have to struggle also with the princes. Princes are those who are to succeed. That is why we have principalities. It's from the one principalities, and they are there to control territories and make sure that you cannot come and just govern. You cannot just come and take over. Then we have a serious issue also. We call them the priests of the land. Most of the battles we see in the spiritual realm are battles against altars. They are altars that faght. It is about priesthood battles. They fight against one another. A wrong priesthood fights the right priesthood, and the right priesthood fights the wrong priesthood. And it is the priesthood that determines who govern. If the wrong priesthood take over the land, it will give the land over to bad things or to bad governance. When a right priesthood take over, then good governance comes. And also the kingship works with the priesthood. A bad king will invite the wrong priesthood. That is why you see King Ahab, who is among the bad kings in Israel, was able to invite the Baals, and the priesthood was taken over by Baals. And they are the ones who taught people the ways of worship and the ways of the Baal. They consulted them to do whatever they want to do. But the priesthood of God, the right priests, were at that time oppressed. I want you to understand now, when you have the right priesthood, you have the right kingship in the land. People follow whoever is in control. People do not have much problem. They follow whoever is in control. So when the wrong priesthood is in the land and you come with the right things, then people will not follow you, or they will not follow what you are doing, because they are being controlled by a priesthood. They are controlled by a system that has been set. So Jeremiah was to fight a system and bring it down and bring a godly system. And therefore God said, you are a fortified city, a city that is protected, a city that cannot be penetrated with iron pillars. So he showed him a man who cannot be penetrated. And then he said unto him that they would fight you. They would try to overthrow you, the priesthood and everything. I have set you against them. They would try to fight you, but they would not prevail against you. They will not succeed. Why? I have made you a fortified city. They shall not prevail against you. Why? I am with you, says the Lord, to deliver you. So God says they will fight. Yes. They will try to conquer you. Yes. They will try to bring you down. But you are a fortified city. And then God tells him again in Jeremiah 51 verse 20, where we have read that you are my battle axe. So the man transformed from a city that is fortified with the iron pillar and with the walls of bronze. He comes to another place where God calls him a battle axe. Say, you are my battle axe. You are my weapon. You are my weapon of war. So God uses men as cities to settle men or shelter men and protect men from danger. And yet he uses men to fight. and give victory to men. So God says to Jeremiah in this case, you are my battle axe. You are my battle axe. A weapon of war. You are my weapon of war. Jeremiah, you are my weapon of war.